If skyrocketing energy bills have you feeling defeated, believe me, I understand. Just last winter, I gazed at my heating statement so intensely, it was as if my stare alone could make the costs wither away. Yet here's a twist you might not expect. In the distant past, our medieval ancestors harnessed a wealth of ingenious solutions for warmth. Tricks largely lost to time while we pace around grumbling about cold drafts and fiddling with digital thermostats. Hundreds of years ago, clever minds brought forth creative ways to keep their homes cozy, all without using a speck of electricity. And no, their winters weren't spent endlessly shivering. Instead, they were resourceful, adapting with methods that would put any modern life hack to shame. It's almost laughable how swiftly these practices faded after the dawn of industrial progress, swept away like yesterday's bread once the wonders of new machinery took center stage. In their excitement over modern convenience, people discarded the wisdom of ages. But recent discoveries in archaeology have revealed something remarkable. Certain medieval dwellings sustained indoor temperatures as high as 70 degrees in the heart of winter, merely by using these old techniques. Not bad for a time when many believed the world's edges lurked just beyond the horizon. Let's begin with one such marvel, the medieval hearth. More than a simple fireplace, it pulsed at the very center of the household, the literal and figurative heart. Unlike our modern habit of relegating fireplaces to corners, the ancestral hearths held pride of place, radiating life and heat to all. The stones surrounding and beneath the fire acted as massive reservoirs of warmth, drinking in the heat by day and then releasing it long after the flames were gone, much like a dear companion reluctant to end an evening. In some buildings, these stones remained warm for half a day after the last embers dimmed. Even the smoke, instead of racing up a chimney, would linger, filtering slowly out through rooftops. This served double duty, warding off pests from wooden beams and protecting meats and harvests curing above. An accidental but effective natural defense system. Modern researchers have shown that these hearths could efficiently heat areas the size of our present-day apartments, about 600 square feet. Burn marks, scorched into the stones, testify to the intense, persistent heat they generated, putting my quick pizza reheatings to shame. Still, even this formidable hearth sometimes needed reinforcements. That's when the true strength of community emerged. Now, I'd love to know, as you listen, where in the world do you find yourself? Is it the break of dawn, the hush of midnight? And please, share. Your place and time matter to us, and to everyone who's gathered here seeking connection and knowledge. In medieval times, when winters cut bitterly cold, neighbors mattered more than ever. People united at communal fires, the warming houses, or village hearths, which acted as both a practical comfort and the social glue binding the fabric of the village. Far from a dull meeting spot, these fires became the heart of village life, a medieval version of a bustling cafe, public square, or digital forum. Folks worked in the warmth, exchanged news, debated disputes, and prepared meals side by side. Historical accounts even detail shift rotations, with families keeping those flames alive around the clock. These buildings were thoughtfully positioned to ensure smoke blew away from main paths. Some warming houses could host 50 villagers at a time, far more efficient than each family struggling alone by their own sputtering fire. There, alongside warmth, bonds were forged. Love matches arranged, stories passed down, even legal quarrels settled. One record from 1267 tells of a property argument resolved by the light of a shared blaze over, fittingly, a missing chicken. Sometimes, though, the solitude of home beckoned. Or perhaps one simply tired of listening to a neighbor extol her latest prized turnip. That's when individual heating ingenuity came to the fore. Imagine medieval hand warmers and pocket stones, forebearers to the gadgets we bring camping or tuck into our gloves. Instead of chemical packets, people toted small river stones, warmed to a gentle heat, or metal orbs, chaufettes, the name hinting at a whiff of old-world elegance. Filled with coals and held close, the wealthy might clutch bronze or silver, while the rest prized iron or copper. One merchant in 1378 stocked dozens of these warming devices. The simplest yet most beloved method involved heating stones by the fire until piping hot, wrapping them in cloth, and tucking them into pockets, boots, or beds. Archaeological evidence bears the fingerprints of centuries. Tiny grooves worn where hands once clasped for comfort through long winters. These personal heaters proved useful not only for hands, but for soothing aches too. Medieval healers prescribed particular stones for back pain or belly aches. Today's heating pad, medieval style. It might astonish us, but medical studies now confirm heat therapy really does ease certain discomforts. And when mere stones weren't enough, medieval people sought out warmth from sources even more surprising: the livestock they shared their homes with. It wasn't sloth that kept barns fastened to houses. Rather, it was practical brilliance, transforming cows, sheep, and sometimes even horses into living radiators. One cow releases as much warmth as a compact heater. 5 or 6 packed together next to the living quarters and shielded on the windward side could keep adjoining rooms 10 degrees warmer than others. No, the aroma wasn't ideal. But in a frozen winter, a touch of barnyard always trumped icy toes. Even the local landlords knew the value. Some charged higher rent for homes with animal-adjacent walls, tapping into what might be history's earliest heating-included property deals. For those sensitive to barn fragrances, medieval science, crude but clever, delivered another solution: harnessing the reflective powers of polished metals. Centuries before physicists unpacked the rules of radiant heat, medieval builders placed curved brass or copper plates around hearths, bouncing warmth back into living spaces. Some wealthy homes boasted entire walls sheathed in gleaming metal, amplifying the fire's power by nearly a third. Letters and chronicles describe castle halls with silvered surfaces, and records from monasteries tell of angled reflectors creating warm zones for the infirm. It's said some monks jokingly called these God's mirrors, though perhaps the miracles lay in the engineering, rather than in divine intervention. Come nightfall, when all else failed, the simple brilliance of the bed warmer came into play. The ancestor of the electric blanket, and a testament to everyday creativity. A slender-handled brass or copper pan, brimming with glowing coals, would be drawn between the covers. These pans weren't just practical. They wore patterns and inscriptions as lovely as anything in a kitchen showroom today. The practice was so popular that entire professions sprang up to inspect the safety of coals used, ensuring a warm bed wouldn't become a fiery disaster. One nobleman, facing an especially bitter winter, went so far as to rotate 6 warming pans through his bed each night. The original luxury sleep routine. But one didn't need wealth to keep the frost at bay. The humble canopy bed, far more than a sign of taste or status, proved essential to warmth. Heavy draperies entrapped body heat, crafting a snug pocket, sometimes as much as 15 degrees warmer than the rest of the chilled room. Carpenters of the time became masters at designing these Siberian cocoons, complete with curtain rails and special holders for warming pans. During the day, a different sort of wisdom surfaced. Medieval builders, long before solar panels, oriented homes and windows strategically to capture the southern sun. Windows were sized precisely for the season, walls thickened to absorb and steadily release warmth deep into the night. A kind of natural thermal battery. Sunrooms and halls, angled just so, provided lingering comfort long after sundown in castles and modest homes alike. Even their roofs, those picturesque thatched marvels, were feats of practical science. Layers of packed straw or reed formed airy insulation, trapping warmth so well that in harsh winters, some villagers reportedly opened windows in January to cool off, while neighbors with tiled roofs huddled miserably over flickering flames. And then, there was the ultimate medieval innovation: radiant floors, centuries before they were fashionable. By heating massive stones in the fire and sliding them beneath the boards or benches, medieval households bathed their rooms in gentle heat for hours. Some records show manor houses rotating dozens of these stones through warm pits all day, achieving indoor temperatures that would seem miraculous to anyone outside, shivering in the cold. It's both humbling and inspiring to reflect on how much wisdom time has quietly buried. 10 dazzling methods, born of necessity and sharpened by generations. Each a quiet reminder that history's solutions can still illuminate our modern lives. Though perhaps we can leave out the livestock aroma this time. If these ancient insights sparked your curiosity, or offered even a flicker of wonder, I invite you to become part of this growing circle, to share your own thoughts, stories, or winter secrets below. Let me know where and when you're listening. Subscribing ensures you won't miss the next story lost to time, and your voice adds one more light to this gathering of minds. Thank you for being here, and may warmth always find its way to you, wherever you call home.